Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I crocheted this really cute Christmas placemat. The stitch I used is join as you go, corner to corner. The placemat measures about 18 inches in width and about 15 inches in height. The yarn I used today is Bernat Handicrafter. It's a holidays line of yarn that they have. It's got just a little detail of metallic thread running through it. It is 100% cotton, apart from the metallic thread. The yarn is a weight of 4. I'm also using a 5mm crochet hook. I hope you enjoy following along in this tutorial with me. You find it easy to follow. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel so you can follow along with some of my other videos. Let's get started. We're going to begin our first block with a slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 6. Put your finger on that third chain, because when we look the other way, that's going to be our 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do a double crochet in that 4th chain from the hook, double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook, and in our 6th chain from the hook. So we've completed our first tile, our first block. So we're going to turn it this way. Now we're going to chain 6 again. Put your finger on that 3rd one. So we're going to put a double crochet again in our 4th chain from the hook, so the one that your finger was on. 5th chain from the hook, and 6th chain from the hook. Now you should have 2 blocks. They look like this. We're going to join them on that first block. At the top of it, you can see your chain 3 space. We're just going to slip stitch in there. Now chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same chain 3 space. Okay, so now we've completed 2 rows. This was our first row with 1 block. This is our second row with 2 blocks. We're going to turn our work this way. Chain 6. Put your finger on that 3rd chain. Then we're going to double crochet in our 4th chain from the hook, our 5th chain from the hook, and our 6th chain from the hook. Okay, so now we're going to join this block with this one. Here we have our chain 3 space. We'll slip stitch in there. Chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochet in there. Now we're going to join this block over here. We're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space at the end of that block. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochet in that same space. So now we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 blocks along this side. We need to have 4. In this row we've done 1, 2, 3 blocks. So let's turn our work, chain 6, put your finger on that third one. We're going to double crochet in the 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. We're going to join this block to this one with a slip stitch. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to do 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. We're going to come to this chain 3 space and slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in that space. We're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space, chain 3, and we're going to do 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. Now we can see along this side we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and our squares are going to be 4 by 4, so we don't want to increase another block here. So we're not going to do a chain 6. We are going to do a chain 3 though. Turn your work, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space. Because we're doing join as you go squares, we need to have this chain 3 space here. Normally for corner to corner you're just going to slip stitch across, but because we're doing join as you go, we're going to have this chain 3 space. So we've done our slip stitch into this chain 3 space, and we're going to do a chain 3 and then 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. Okay, and then we're going to come over to this block. We're going to find our chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in that space. I'm going to come over to this space here, slip stitch, chain 3, and then 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. Now we're attaching to the last block on this side. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, but we don't want to increase anymore. We're going to do a chain 3, turn your work, and then find that chain 3 space that's at the end of that block, slip stitch in there. Okay, so now we're decreasing. You can see we have a corner here, a corner there, and a corner there. So we'll do chain 3, 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. Come over to our next block, slip stitch in there, chain 3, and then our 3 double crochet. We're going to join it to this block with a slip stitch in that chain 3 space. We're going to chain 3, turn your work, slip stitch into this chain 3 space. So we've got one more block to make, so we're going to chain 3 and put 3 double crochet into this chain 3 space. Come over to this block here and we're going to slip stitch in there, chain 3, turn your work, and slip stitch into this chain 3 space. Can just trim our yarn there. Sometimes at the corners you just need to move your slip stitch joins down so that your corner blocks appear square. Okay, I know I have white on white here. So this is where we just ended. We're going to put a stitch marker in this corner. So I just have one of these. I'm just going to mark this bottom corner. This is going to make it a lot easier as we make our placemat to remember which is our first square and where is our bottom corner. If you don't have a stitch marker that looks like this, if you don't have any stitch markers, you could just use a different color yarn. Pull it through, tie it, and you can just leave it there. So you don't have to have this type of a stitch marker, you can just use yarn. Okay, that's our first block is complete. Now we're going to join our next block over here. We're ready to start the second square. I have woven in my ends for the first square just so that they're not a distraction as I'm demonstrating this. So you can go ahead and weave in your ends after each square or just leave them until the end. It's up to you, your preference. So here's our bottom right hand corner. I'm going to go to the bottom left hand corner. Now I'm going to leave a bit of a tail because my first 3 chains I'm going to use both strands of yarn. So yarn over, pull through a loop. Now I have both strands held over here and I'm going to chain 3 with them. Makes it a little bit thicker, but honestly you don't notice it afterwards. So after I've chained 3, I'm just going to pull that one strand through, and this is when I go to weave it in later. I know that it's pretty secure in this chain 3, but I'm still going to weave it through my work afterwards. So that's 1, 2, 3 chains, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to come down to that 4th chain from the hook and we're going to do double crochet in there. 5th chain from the hook, we're going to do a double crochet, and the 6th chain from the hook, a double crochet. So now we're going to turn our work, and between these 2 blocks we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do a chain 3, and we're going to go along this side, and we're going to do another slip stitch between these two blocks. Okay, so we are working up along that side. If I turn this back to the original way, you can see this is the block. Here's a chain 3. Okay, so we've joined this chain 3 between these two blocks. Now we're going to do another chain 3. I'm going to turn it back this way so our chain 3 is on the left of this chain we've just made. And now we're going to do 3 double crochet in that chain 3. Okay, so I've done a block here, done a chain 3 along here, we've turned it around, and we've put 3 double crochet in there. So at the top of this block, this first block, here's our chain 3 space. We're going to slip stitch in there, and now we're going to do a chain 3. So you move that chain 3 over, and we have our chain 3 space. We're going to put 3 double crochet in there. So now we have 3 red blocks attached to our white block. We're going to do a chain 6. We're going to do a double crochet in our 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. So we're going to turn our work, slip stitch into this chain 3 space. I'm going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochet into this chain 3 space. Okay, now we're going to come to this block here, and we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet. Okay, now we're going to bring this block over, and we're going to slip stitch between these 2 white blocks. Chain 3, then we're going to come over to the end of this white block, and we're going to do a slip stitch in there. So chain 3, turn your work. Now in this chain 3 space here, we're just going to do our 3 double crochets. So now we're working back this way. We're going to go into this block, find our chain 3 space, do a slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in that space. Find this chain 3 space, do a slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet. Let's count our blocks on this side. We've got 1, 2, 3, so we know we need to make 1 more red one there. So with this block here, we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in there. My yarn is wanting to curl. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want to add another block here, so we're going to chain 3. We're going to turn our work, slip stitch into this chain 3 space. Now we're going to make another block, so chain 3, 3 double crochet in this space, I'm going to find this chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. We'll come over to the space here, find our chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, and do 3 double crochet. So as we can see, this block is forming up nicely. We're just going to join the end of this row to this one by slip stitching, and then we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and slip stitch into this chain 3 space. So we've got 3 more blocks to make, 2 in this row and 1 in our last row. So we're going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. Slip stitch into this space, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet in that same space. I'm going to join these 2 blocks together with a slip stitch in that chain 3 space. Then we're going to make a chain 3, turn our work, slip stitch into this chain 3 space, chain 3, and put 3 double crochet in that space. Okay, that's our last block, so we're going to join it over here with a slip stitch in this chain 3 space. We have to make a chain 3 though, turn our work, and join it in that chain 3 space. We need to have these chain 3s at the end of our work for joining other blocks. Okay, so we'll just pull that, give us a long enough tail for weaving in. So now we have 2 of our blocks are joined together. Okay, so now we're ready for our next block, and it will be a white one. Now we're ready for our 3rd section. I've already attached my white yarn to the bottom left corner of my red square. This next section will work exactly the same as the red one, except I'm using the white yarn. So I'm going to use both pieces of yarn here, and I'm going to chain 3. let that one piece of yarn go. And then we're going to chain 3 more. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to come back to that 3rd chain. So 4th one from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do a double crochet in there. Double crochet in our 5th one from the hook and our 6th. We're going to turn our work this way. And we're going to do a slip stitch between these 2 blocks. Chain 3. Then we're going to come over and do a slip stitch between our next set of blocks. Chain 3. I'm going to turn our work back this way. And so under this chain 3 section, we're going to do 3 double crochets. In the top of this first block we've made, we're going to find our chain 3 space. We'll slip stitch in there. Then we're going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space. So your work should look like this now. So we're going to chain 6. Then we'll put our 3 double crochets in our 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. We're going to turn our work again. We're going to join this block with this block over here. So we're going to slip stitch, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet into that chain 3 space. So as you can see, we're now working back down this side. We've got 1, 2, 3 blocks long. Okay, so we'll just continue. We're just going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet. Now we're going to attach that to our red square by going through our next 2 red blocks. Do a slip stitch. So now we have to chain 3, slip stitch in this chain 3 space that we have at the end of this block. So we'll chain 3. We're going to turn our work again, and we're going to do 3 double crochet into this chain 3 space. Can you hear my dog snoring right next to me? Okay, so now we're working back this way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks wide, and now we're going to put our 4th block over here when we finish this side of the row. So we have to slip stitch into this chain 3 space, chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet into that space. Slip stitch in this space, chain 3, and 3 double crochet. We're going to slip stitch into the top of this block into the chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Now we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks there. We don't want to increase anymore. So now we're going to do a chain 3, turn our work, and we're going to slip stitch into this space right here. So we have our 4 blocks this way and our 4 blocks this way. We're not going to increase anymore. So we've just done a slip stitch in there. That means we have to chain 3, 3 double crochet, slip stitch into our next chain 3 space at the end of this block. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, we're going to join this block over here by doing a slip stitch, but we don't want to make another block over here. So we're just going to chain 3, turn our work, and then we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space. So chain 3, we're going to put 3 double crochet in there. Okay, we're going to work another block here by doing a slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Now we're just going to join this block over here with a slip stitch, chain 3, turn our work. So we've got 1 block left. That's over here. So we're going to slip stitch into this space, chain 3, and do our 3 double crochet. We'll join this block into this chain 3 space with a slip stitch, chain 3, turn your work, then we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space. Okay, and we can fasten off right there. So here's my stitch marker. I changed it to a piece of yarn because I found the plastic one was clinking too much on this table and was bothering me. So that was our first section, our first square, our second one, third one. So we've got 2 more for the bottom row. Now we're ready for our 4th section, and this one will be red. It's going to be right here to the left of this white one. So we'll just insert our hook into the corner. And this is where you'll attach your yarn. So follow the instructions exactly as we did for this red one. Okay, that's how you're going to attach this 4th section. After our 4th section is attached, now we're ready for the last one for this row. So it's going to be white. You'll attach it to this same corner as we've attached the other ones, which is the bottom corner on the left hand side. Here is my marker for my original starting square. So after you attach your white yarn, you're going to crochet this square the same way that we did this third square, this white one. The white ones are attached the same as the red ones, except we're using a different color. Okay, so just do the white square, and then when we come back, I'll show you how we will start our second row. Okay, now our first row is done. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So we're ready to start on our second row. We're going to start over here. This is our beginning square. We can see our stitch markers right there. So we're going to go to the top right hand side of that square. I've already attached my red yarn. When I did my demonstration for block number 6, I had a video issue, so therefore I can't use the video that I originally did for this one. If we look at my grid here for the placemat, so we're finished rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to show you how to attach the 6th block, but I'll be doing it with this one up here. But block 6, 11, and 16 all attach the same way. So let's get started with this block now. So we're going to attach our yarn in the top right corner. I always like to tie my yarn, and then plus I like to do my first chain 3 with a double strand. I'm sure that my ends are not going to come loose. So we're just chaining 3, and that's it. Now we're going to come over here. Here's our first block. Between this block and this one, I know there's a chain 3 right there, but that's fine. We're going to go in between these two, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Now at this point I'm going to just go back to 1 strand of yarn. So we're chain 3. I'm going to turn our work, and under that chain 3 space we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 6, do a double crochet in our 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. Okay, so now we're going to turn our work again. This block we just crocheted, we're going to join it over here on that first block with a slip stitch in that chain 3 space. Okay, so now we have 2 blocks, one on top of each other. So we're going to put another block over here. So chain 3, do 3 double crochet in this chain 3 space. This block that we've just made, we're going to join it over here to our white block. So we're going to go between our 2nd and 3rd white block from this white square. So we slip stitch in there, chain 3, Then we're going to slip stitch in between our third and fourth white block. Chain 3. Let's turn our work again. So under the chain 3 that we made over here, we're going to put 3 double crochet. So now we're working on the diagonal going this way. So we're going to work this side as usual. We're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space, make a block here, we'll make a block there. Okay, so now we've got 3 blocks on a diagonal. We've got 1, 2, 3 blocks here. We need a 4th block because our squares are 4 by 4. So we'll do a chain 6. We're going to do a double crochet in the 4th, 5th, and 6th chain from the hook. Now we're going to turn our work. Slip stitch in here. We're working on our next row diagonally. So we'll just continue along here as normal, chaining 3, 3 double crochet. Then we'll find our next chain 3 to slip stitch in. We'll work all the way down to this last square. I've just made my 4th block in this diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be our 4th one over. So we're going to slip stitch in between our white and red block. Over here we do not want to increase anymore, so we're just going to chain 3. Let's turn our work. We're going to slip stitch in this chain 3 space in the block that we just made. And we'll do our chain 3, 3 double crochet, okay, so when you come along this side, make sure you're just doing your 3 blocks. We're going to join this one with a slip stitch. Now we're not going to create another block. We're not going to do a chain 6, but we are going to do a chain 3. Then we're going to turn our work. Slip stitch into that chain 3 space on that last block you just made. We're going to chain 3 and make a block. So this time we're just making 2 blocks on this side. Or I should say 2 blocks in this row. So that was our first block. We'll join that with a slip stitch over here. Make our second block. Slip stitch in that chain 3 space. So we're just going to chain 3 and then we're going to turn our work. We're at our last block. So we're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space. Make our chain 3. And then 3 double crochet. Okay, so we have our 4x4, but we're going to finish it with a chain 3. Turn your work again and slip stitch into this chain 3 space at the end. Okay, so we've just added this square at the top. You can still see my stitch markers here. This is my bottom corner. This one I've just shown you is at the top, but remember, you're going to crochet this one exactly the same as what I've just shown you. The white one is done exactly the same except in white. And so when you're finished square 6, then you're going to move on to square 7. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you're going to join a block in between 2 blocks. So this side and this side have to be attached as we go. So we're going to start in this corner. So because we've got a red block here, obviously a white one is going to go here. So we're going to start with chain 3. Now we're going to come over here to our first set of red blocks that we have, or tiles in this square, and we're going to do a slip stitch. I'm not going to work with 2 yarns after this, so we're just going to chain 3. We're going to turn our work, and in that chain 3 section we just made, we're going to do 3 double crochet. So we've just made a block. This block we're going to join it over here. Okay, and to this red square, we're going to go between our 2 red blocks, 2 red tiles, whatever you want to call them. We're going to slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 3. We're going to come up to our next set of blocks, and we're going to slip stitch in there. Chain 3, turn our work. That's the chain 3 space we just made. We're going to put 3 double crochet in there. Okay, so we attached it to the corner, made a chain 3, attached that over here with a slip stitch, did a chain 3 and our 3 double crochet. We attached that here, we made a chain 3 up to here, attached that with a slip stitch, and now we've just made this block. So this block, we're going to bring it over and we're going to attach it to the first block we made with a slip stitch. Now we're ready to do a chain 3, and we'll put 3 double crochet in that space. Okay, so this block has to get attached to the red over here. So we're just going to do a slip stitch in there. We're going to chain 3. Now we're going to start another block over here, so we have to slip stitch. Okay, so we've done these 3 blocks. We're setting up the foundation for this one. Put our slip stitch in there. Now we're going to chain 3. We're going to turn back so we can work into that chain 3 section. We're going to put 3 double crochet in there. So now we're going to work back this row. We're going to find our chain 3 space. And we're going to slip stitch in there, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Find our next chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet. We're going to attach this block over here by slip stitching between these 2 red blocks. Chain 3, and we're going to go to the end of that red block and we're going to slip stitch in there. We're going to turn our work back. And then we're going to do we're going to chain 3 first. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet into that chain 3 space. We'll find our chain 3 space over here. We'll do a slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet. So we'll just continue to work this row until we get down here, and then we'll talk about that. Okay, so I've just made this 4th block on this row, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to join it over here by slip stitching between the red and the white block. Okay, now we don't want to increase anymore because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks this way. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So we're decreasing now. So we'll just chain 3, turn our work. We're going to find the chain 3 space, that block we just made, slip stitch in there, chain 3, and our 3 double crochet. So we'll just work along the side of this block again. Okay, so I'm just at the end of this side, going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space. We're going to chain 3, turn, and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space in that block we just made. Chain 3, We're going to work 2 blocks on this side. You have those 2 blocks made. We're just going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space. We're going to chain 3, turn your work. We've got 1 more block to make. So we slip stitch into the chain 3 space in that last block we made. Chain 3, 3 double crochet. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space. We're going to end it with a chain 3, turn your work, and slip stitch into that chain 3 space in the last block you made. So on this grid, we can see what the finished placemat is going to look like. So we've completed blocks 1 through 7. And this is the order you're going to work in: 8, 9, 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Block 8 you're going to attach just like we attached block 7. Block 9 will be attached just like block 7. Block 10 will be attached just like block 7. When you get to block 11, you're going to attach it just the way that we attach block 6. And then 12, 13, 14, 15 will all be done just like block 7 was. Block 16 will be attached just like block 6. And then block 17, 18, 19, and 20 will all be attached just like block 7 was. So when all 20 blocks are attached, we'll meet back here and then we'll talk about our border. Okay, now we should be finished the middle section of our placemat. So all 20 blocks have been completed. We're ready to put on the border. So we're going to start the border with a foundation row. So I'm going to use red yarn. So I'm just going to start in a red block. So we're going to yarn over, pull through a loop, chain 1, then we're going to do a single crochet in that same space. Chain 2, go between our next set of blocks or tiles. We're going to do a single crochet. Chain 2, go between our next set of blocks, tiles, chain 2, we'll single crochet. So we'll do that all the way around, 2 chains, single crochet between the next set of blocks. So we're going to go into the corner space. If you have a chain 3 right there, you can go into that one. There we go, is the chain 3. So single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet in the same space. Then you just do your chain 2 and go to your next set of blocks and do a single crochet in between. Okay, so you continue that all the way around. We have a single crochet, chain 2, then single crochet. So you're just going in between all of these blocks that are in the red and white squares. You get to the corner, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the same space. We'll meet back where we started this round. Just made it back around to the beginning spot, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet. Now we're going to chain 1, In that same spot, we're going to do a half double crochet. In this chain 2 space, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. In our single crochet, we're going to do a half double crochet. So we'll continue that around half double crochets in our single crochet spaces, 2 half double crochets in our chain 2 spaces. So on the top of our single crochet stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. In our chain 2 space, we'll do 2. At the corner, you're going to do 3 half double crochets in that chain 3 space. So we'll just continue that pattern all the way around. We'll meet back at the beginning of this round. All right, I'm back to the beginning where we started this round. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet. Chain 1. Now we're going to half double crochet in each of our half double crochets all the way around. When you get to the corner, find that middle half double crochet and do 3 in the top of that one. So that'll help your corners turn nicely. When you get back to the beginning, just like we just did, you're going to slip stitch into the top of this first half double crochet. Then you can fasten off your yarn and then just weave in your ends and your placemat is completed. All my ends have been woven in. The placemat is finished. I really hope you enjoyed following along in this video tutorial with me today. I really hope you enjoyed making this placemat. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and you can follow along with some other great tutorials that I have out there. So have a great day and happy crocheting!